What's up, family? In today's video, we'll be looking at more creepy and strange Tik Toks. Yo.
What the?
That mother just blew a smoke ring.
Heck? Bro, what in the heck is that?
What is this? They just take pictures of you? Yo, this is strange.
I made niggas.
Yeah, who built this? That's crazy. The details is wild.
Those of you that live in Minnesota, Canada will understand. Look at those sundogs. Them are bright. It is cold out there. Whoa. You don't get that in Florida.
Do you get that in Florida? All my Florida people, have you ever seen that effect in the sky? Let us know, because I don't know if it's just because of cold weather, man. There's something else to that.
No, she did form for this past year. So that was nuts.
What the heck?
And so this year is some of them, not all of them, are coming back.
Y'all ever seen somebody take a test at a game?
They're like basically we pay for them to work.
Look at the dude sitting next to them. The guy he's looking at him like. When the family's arguing about politics and they ask about my views, I mean. Literally.
And I said, pretty, please, won't you get that?
Oh no. Imagine that mother getting your finger.
I'm not mad, I'm done. That's what people don't understand. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anyone, I'm just done. Done dealing with situations that brought me in my peace. Dealing with people who don't love me as I love them. Don't try as hard as I try. Don't putting the effort that I put in. I'm just done, that's it. Once I see that you are abusing what I bring to the table, family, friend relationship, I don't care, that's it. I'm not mad, I'm not angry, I'm just finished. If you made it this far, drop 100 in the comments.
Y'all niggas easily impressed. Gucci clear these niggas with less of effort. Like, this is forbidden technology. We still don't even understand how was this photo even created without AI.
True.
Like, can you imagine that conversation? Ugh, hey, can you got that put me in toy stores? Fuck it, what a genius. Still to this day, AI can't compete with Gucci and whoever the fuck was his graphic designer. Prime Gucci was moving bricks out of the White House. You know how long it took them to Photoshop that spider on his chest? This is a elite graphic design. Like, and this shit believable as fuck. Like, it really looked like Gucci lynching that nigga Jeezy from his fucking drawers. This is peak, bro. Fuck the Beatles.
For real though, man. Them album covers back in the day, how'd they do it? Because that was a long time ago. I couldn't do it. Photoshop on another level.
So, you can get that motherfucker to work? Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, got the passcode to the TV.
Baby, I don't care what y'all say, but that train that was on their way to Chicago from St. Louis, they went through a portal. They did not go off the grid. It was not a glitch, baby. They went through a portal. And trust me and believe me when I tell you that the people that got on that train was not the people that got off that train. And y'all can call me crazy if you want to.
What?
Got the sun on this side. The moon on this side.
There's more.
I'm checking it out because I have never seen nothing like that before.
The Grand Rapids, leaving the hospital. We got this craziness going in the sky.
It can't be a reflection, Sam.
Mm-mm.
How would it hit the clouds like that?
What y'all think it is? A reflection? Nah, it can't be.
I want y'all to look at this.
Why nobody talking about for the first time Christmas is on 25-25-25? Baby, we never gonna get this time again.
We sure not. We ain't gonna never see that time ever.
December, this December, baby, blessings on top of blessings.
If Johnny had 4 apples, like, bro, come on now. And then you doing this, like you look. Do you not know how you look doing this? First of all, let me ask you: how many months is in a year? Is it 1? Is it 12? Is it 25? Let me know, because 25, 25, 25 don't make no sense. I'm not gonna lie. And then you sitting here doing this like you right. I can't. This little phase that y'all got going on, this right there, I can't wait until it fades out. Because that right there, it aggravates me. Because it be the people that's doing that think they right, but whole time you look crazy just like her. You sitting here doing all that and you don't even know what you're talking about. At this point, just throw your phone in the trash. Because clearly you don't need to be using it. Y'all let me know. I don't know. It's just, y'all already know what it is. When it's something like this, yeah, we gonna talk about it. Because I'm not about to let that slide. Oh no. Life for more.
Yo. People believe anything on the internet. And they'll say anything on the internet. And it's just, TikTok's a crazy place to be sometimes, ain't it?
What do you think of the playoffs? What do you think of the weather? Oh, yeah. And you start bringing up, I don't know, what do you think of the surveillance grid going in? Have you heard about how they're listening to all of us without warrants? They're like, well, gee, buddy, what you bringing that up for? It's kind of weird. Well, it is weird they're doing it. It's very dangerous. You know, what, companies, government spying on people without warrants, mass arrests, secret police, torture dungeons. Well, I don't care. I'm not involved in politics. I don't have to worry about that, Mac. Oh, really? They're putting the grid in place to rob you, you fat slob.
How is it possible for an Amtrak train filled with 253 passengers to just vanish? So get this shit. Allegedly, an Amtrak train leaves St. Louis going to Chicago and this shit winds up missing. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen to what this man say.
No other train has passed that train. I do not know if we're going to make it or when we're going to make it. So know when you get on, this is your choice.
You hear that shit?
The train that left from here at 8 o'clock this morning. The train that left St. Louis at 8 a.m.
Listen.
Make it to Chicago, they said.
What?
That's a little, and they don't even know, like they lost communication with the train. That's some scary.
That man basically said, you guys can enter this train if you want to. It's not on us. Whatever is going on with these trains don't got shit to do with us. Y'all can get on this train if you want. But we're not saying that you're going to get to your destination safe. But basically a train with 253 people was missing. They lost it. No communication, no nothing. Mind you, they're saying that train could have quote unquote derailed and they didn't even know. Here it is. The train left St. Louis on its way to Chicago and they have no contact with anybody. Nobody at all that was on that train. That shit don't sound right. As soon as I hear more about this shit, I'm going to let you know what happened. I'm out.
50,000.
Hold on. How? A whole train just disappears? I need to go like deeper into this and see what's going on because I haven't really heard anything about it until today watching these videos. So what really happened with this train? It's kind of like that plane that disappeared, right? And then everyone was asking questions about that plane. Y'all think it went through a portal?
1,000 cases of shredded cheese sold at major retailers may be contaminated with metal fragments.
What?
They include Walmart, Target, and Aldi. Ohio-based Great Lakes Cheese is voluntarily recalling the cheese. It was distributed in more than 30 states, including Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana, under a variety of store-owned brands. If you have the affected cheese, You'll need to throw it away or return it for a full refund. Importantly, a full list of the products can be found at NBCChicago.com. We don't have a list of all the named brands, so you want to go check that out at our website.
So it's a man claiming that he received messages from the Most High above. You heard me? From God, saying that the world is supposed to end in the next couple of weeks. And he said it's his duty to save everybody that he can. And he is building the next Noah's Ark. You heard what I just said? He is building an ark to hold people like Noah's Ark so he can save people when the world ends. Mind you, this man's name is Ebo Noah. You heard what I just said? Noah. Like Noah's Ark Noah. This man is saying that he got word from the Most High that the end of the world is going to be on December 25th, 2025. I'm not saying this. He's saying that he got word from the Most High above that the world is ending on December 25th, 2025. So this man so-called built 8 arks. And I know y'all saying, how is he going to save the whole world? Because they're saying that his arks only hold 5,000 people each. But get this shit here. He claims that one of his arks that he built will be able to hold 600 million people. And of course, you know the people that don't believe is cooking him. When I say cooking, they cooking him. What I forgot to mention was this man is from Ghana. And he said, if you are not from Ghana and you would like to come to Ghana, you're welcome. You are welcome to come and get on that ark. Pause. Listen, a lot of people don't believe him, but there are a lot of people that do believe him. I want to ask you this. Do you believe him? Jump in the comments and let me know. I'm out.
Since when?
I don't know about that last number that he threw out there about an ark holding that many people. I don't know about that. 5,000, possibly, you know. I don't know. We'll see.
Were iPhones doing this to our brains? And this motherfucker's probably getting sued for this, so listen up. Scientists just found out that Apple devices are releasing tons of radiation, and I wasn't even sure if this was true until I got this radiation tester. Just watch what happens whenever this thing gets close to my computer. Just look at that. And as you can see, it's the exact same thing with my phone as well. If you have your phone on you all the time, your body's getting hit with all of that. And we all know what radiation does to a human body. This is exactly why me and every other person in my family has one of these. If you don't know, this is a nanotechnology anti-radiation sticker. Now that I have it on my computer, just watch what happens. Nothing. These come in a 6-pack, so this way you can have one on every single device. These were on sale for around 10 bucks, so it's kind of a no-brainer. The only problem is these have been super low on stock ever since this news came out. So if you still see that orange cart, grab them while you can because they're not going to be there for long.
Okay, so I'm at the Galleria. I just saw this Netflix house building, right? I'm looking inside. It's technically closed. I'm looking inside. I can't see what it is, but then I look over here, it says, welcome to the next Netflix house. This is a live, interactive environment. Some attractions are physical in nature. Participate responsibly at your own risk. You're in an area that is being filmed and photographed. By entering, you grant Netflix the right to use your name, likeness, and voice in this or any use worldwide and forever without compensation. I just want to say, like, what in the Black Mirror is this? What in the Black Mirror is this? Because, like, I don't know who else watched Black Mirror, but that one episode, Joan is Awful, that's exactly what that is. They trying to be funny.
That's not a plane, bro. I don't care what nobody's saying. That ain't no plane, bro. That ain't no plane, bro.
Y'all think
that
it's
ain't
a plane?
No plane, bro. That ain't no plane, bro. That ain't no plane. I don't care what nobody say. That ain't no plane. That's not no plane. I don't care. That ain't a plane. Look at me move my phone over to the side. It look like it was trying to come with me. Look at that. Look how it's moving to the what the look at that. Look, I just moved. Dude, I know y'all see that. I'm moving side to side and that mother's moving side to side.
Lunch on the set of Wicked, huh? Probably, yo, because they about like this thin.
So congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this mic, now turn it on, turn it on. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny.
I thought it was.
Have a good night.
I mean, if not Diddy, Chris Rock, I don't know.
What the fuck?
Their price $12.99. Our price $7.99. Wrong. Their price was $5 fucking dollars.
The carrots, the peas, the celery sticks, the meat and the fish will make you sick.
So I just watched this video and honestly, I was not prepared. These guys thought it would be funny to prank this girl by throwing random things at her while she was literally just walking down the street, minding her own business. You could tell she did not want to be bothered. She wasn't laughing. She wasn't playing along. She was just trying to live her life. And then the twist, she turns around, completely unfazed, reaches into her pocket or bag, pulls out a bloodstained sanitary pad and just smears it right across the guy's face. Full swipe. His entire face was covered. And honestly, the second she did that, I was cheering. Because that's exactly what happens when you mess with the wrong person for content. Like, people forget that not everyone wants to be in your prank video. Not everyone thinks it's funny. You never know who you're dealing with, what kind of day they're having, or how they're going to react. And she handled it in the most chaotic, iconic way possible. Pranks need boundaries. If your joke involves harassing strangers in public, then whatever reaction you get, that's on you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo, they got what was coming to them. That was nasty. I will never throw anything at anybody randomly. Yeah, no, that's nasty.
We got the 3D chicken.
3D printed chicken. Ain't nothing real no more.
What is that? It's the bubbles under the skin.
Under the skin.
But like, is that even skin? Like, what is that?
They done plumped the chicken up.
Like, look at that. And then you pull it and it's just slimy. Ew, it's just gooey.
Yeah, you really can't trust the food anymore either.
Oh my god, they actually did it. Oh, whoa.
Dang. So Netflix bought WB? What?
Oh, yes. I have to.
Oh! Dang. That's messed up.
This is real footage from Beverly Hills in 2002. The man on the left in the blue suit is Buzz Aldrin, one of the first humans to walk on the moon. Now, the man with the microphone is a filmmaker who spent decades claiming that the moon landing was faked. He decides he's going to corner Buzz in public, he shoves a Bible towards him, and he swears that he walked on the moon. And after minutes of insults and shouting, Buzz, who was 72 years old at the time, finally loses his patience and, well, does this.
Away from me, you're a coward and a liar and a thief.
You see, the famous Apollo 11 mission where man first walked on the moon is one of the most famous conspiracy theories in the world. And there are claims that it never actually happened, and instead was actually filmed on a set in a secret location in the US, directed by none other than Stanley Kubrick. Yes, the director that did The Shining and 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a real theory. This is episode 1 into a deep dive into the moon landing conspiracy. And in today's episode, we gotta look at the backstory. The year was 1969, and the world was completely divided by the Cold War. It was a decades-long standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both nations were racing to not only prove who could dominate Earth, but also space. And the Soviets were already dominating this. They launched Sputnik 1, which was the first satellite into orbit. They sent Yuri Gagarin, who was the first human, into space. They even performed the very first spacewalk. But but not a walk on the moon. The Soviets were crushing it. So, when President John F. Kennedy promised that the US would land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the decade, it was no longer a dream, and the plan was put into action. This was something that the US had to absolutely achieve. So, billions of dollars were poured into NASA's Apollo program. They hired thousands of scientists, engineers, and pilots who worked around the clock. Against all odds, in the year 1969, the world watched Apollo 11 launch towards the moon. Once again, a massive thing for the US to do. They needed to prove that democracy could out-innovate communism. Well, on July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong stepped off the lunar module and said these famous words.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
But when that moment happened, it became not just a win for the United States, but one of humanity's proudest moments. However, when something looks so perfect as this did, people will start to look for cracks. And over the next decade, they actually found plenty. In this series, we're going to explore both sides of this conspiracy. In the next video, we're going to look at all the evidence of why this actually didn't happen and why it may have been faked. And then in part 3, we're going to look at all the evidence in science saying that, well, they actually did land on the moon. But for now, this was the climate of the world and where it all began. So if you guys want to follow this, please be sure to like and follow for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. This.
Y'all think it was real? Y'all think they actually landed on the moon? I don't know.
Is part 2 of the theory saying we never went to the moon. Part 1 of this video is live right now, so if you haven't seen the first half, go check that out first. Okay, continuing on. After the Apollo 11 mission, NASA's original broadcast masters, this was the first recordings of mankind landing on the moon. They were sent to Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland for safekeeping. But in the early 1980s, NASA was facing a magnetic tape shortage, and because of this, they began to reuse old tapes and record over them. You know where I'm going here. Somewhere in that process, the Apollo 11 original footage was wiped and recorded over. What are you talking about? And for decades, nobody knew. It wasn't until 2006 that NASA publicly confirmed that after a 3-year investigation, the footage was gone. It was accidentally recorded over. We are talking about arguably the most famous footage from human history. Just accidentally gets wiped and recorded over. The question is, why wasn't it in a safer spot? In the late 1990s, new high-resolution scans of Buzz Aldrin's famous moon photo sparked a fresh debate. In the reflection of his visor, you can actually see Neil Armstrong, but what you can't see is a camera in his hands at all. So then who took the picture? To believers, the composition looked too perfect and way too cinematic. They claimed that he wasn't even holding a camera and that this was studio lighting. Of course, we have to talk about the no stars theory. Every single moon photo from this mission shows a pitch black sky, not one visible star. Well, NASA explained that the moon's surface was far too bright that it actually wiped out all of the faint stars in the background. But to skeptics, this of course sounded like a cover story, and they chalked this up as a set designer making a mistake and forgetting to put the stars in the background. Now, of course, I have to talk about the famous waving flag theory. In the footage, as the astronauts plant the American flag in the moon, it appears to flutter, almost as though it had caught a breeze. But there's no wind in space. Well, apparently the movement came from the astronauts twisting the pole into the ground and also the metal that was holding the flag out. But this footage is one of the most popular theories around the moon landing. And finally, the most cinematic one of them all. After directing 2001: A Space Odyssey, NASA secretly hired director Stanley Kubrick to direct the public broadcast of the moon landing. And him being notorious for putting artistry and Easter eggs in his movies, believers went crazy. Let's look at The Shining. In one scene, Danny is wearing an Apollo 11 sweater. There is a room 237, which is apparently a nod to the distance to the moon, 237,000 miles. And even that famous carpet pattern was based off of the launch pad. Bit of a stretch, but nonetheless a theory. Okay, there you have it. Some of the top theories as to why and how the moon landing may have been fake. Welcome back to a deep dive into the moon landing. Today we're focusing on all the theories and evidence saying that we did go to the moon. Now, if you don't believe that, no worries, because yesterday's videos were showing all the theories saying that we didn't. Let's jump into this. You see, in 1969, when man first landed on the moon, they left behind something called retroreflectors. Basically, they're these large mirrors that are designed to reflect light directly back from where it came. And here's the thing. Independent observatories and universities from all over the world, we're talking from France to Japan, have been firing lasers at these mirrors for over 50 years. And the light comes back every time. So those retroreflectors are physical proof that there is something man-made still on the moon. Okay, next up, let's talk about the visuals. And no, this is not coming from NASA, because that would be bias. Over the last 15 years, India, China, and Japan have all sent their own orbiters to the moon. This is completely separate from the United States. Now, while orbiting the moon, each of them captured photos of the Apollo 11 landing site. And in these photos, you can see the lunar module module's base, equipment, and even the footpath that was left by the astronauts. They all verified the same coordinates, and they all saw the same things. Now remember, none of these countries have a reason to protect America's legacy, and yet their data lines up perfectly. So whether or not you believe this original footage, there is evidence from around the world showing that something man-made is still sitting on the moon. Now, before we get to the next one, be sure to come back to tomorrow's video because I have something super cool involving the moon that allows you to look at it from a totally different perspective. The next evidence. For those of you that have followed me before this series, you know that I use different smart telescopes. In fact, last night was the brightest full moon of the entire year, and I got this shot right here. Since there is no weather, no wind, and no atmosphere up in space, everything that happens on the moon is permanent. Take a look at the photo that I captured. You can see these long, bright streaks across its surface. Those are debris trails from ancient asteroid impacts, which you can see happened here. Now, when the asteroid actually hit the moon, it blasted out rock and dust everywhere and scattered the debris across the surface of the moon. It is still there millions of years later, completely untouched. So let's say if we flew to the moon right now, we would still see the Apollo 11 footprints as though they were taken just seconds ago, because there's nothing to erase them. There's no wind. Nothing will fill those footprints in. Nothing moves on the moon. The moon is essentially a giant time capsule, and those footprints are forever a part of its history. Now let's talk about the physical evidence we have. The moon rocks. After the Apollo missions, samples weren't just locked away by NASA. They were actually distributed around the world to universities and independent laboratories. Places like the UK, Australia, and even the Soviet Union. Scientists outside of the United States, so again, absolutely no reason to defend NASA, have studied them. Inside the moon rocks are tiny glass beads. Now these were formed from microscopic space rocks that hit the surface and then melted it. That could only happen in the vacuum of space, not on Earth. Okay, once again, I have run out of time, but there is a part 2 that is live right now.
Okay, so what y'all think? Y'all think they went to the moon? You think they brought moon rocks back? You think these other scientists, aren't cooperating? What you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. I mean, it's up for debate. It's up for debate.
Mom is afraid of the government coming to get me. I'm sorry, Mommy, but I have to talk about this, for real. In the 1990s, there was this group of white British philosophy dudes like Mark Fisher and Nick Land who created this group called the CCRU. This was an academic group whose goal was to accelerate capitalism. Now, what does that mean? Well, to Nick Land, capitalism is artificial intelligence. That is not a hyperbole, it's not metaphor. Capitalism is artificial intelligence. It is an alien system that's goal is to sustain itself, and it's been using humans to do this for a long period of time. We have been the ones behind its reproduction, not the other way around. And capitalism's fuel is efficiency. That's how it gets more intelligent, that's how it expands. It wants more and more producing power so it can get bigger and more autonomous. This means replacing humans with AI and technology and machinery, etc. Human displacement is the result of purely capitalist aims, not human aims. These two things are very different. And capitalism aims to serve itself, not people. Okay, so how does one accelerate capitalism? Like, what does that even mean? Well, for one, Land saw culture and social identities and roles as clear inhibitors of capitalist aims. For example, let's take gender. The idea that women should stay at home and men should go work cut our labor force in half for a long time, which limited the production power of capitalism. Things like national identity and using those beliefs to inform policy actively prohibits things like global trade, which once again inhibits capitalism from expanding, from growing, from replicating itself. If you get what I'm saying. So the CCRU started with culture. It wanted to accelerate culture. They wanted us to get to a point where all these categories and these social meanings dissolved into each other. They wanted to overwhelm your cognitive processes by scrambling categories like lecture and party, theory and art. So instead of lecturing at podiums, these guys would play jungle music in the background, flash strobe lights, and read cut-up philosophy, sci-fi, and occult writings, just spliced together like a DJ remix. That is just one example of how these guys sought to dissolve all categories into each other until there were no categories at all. Now, by the 2000s, the CCRU was kind of done and Nick was sort of spiraling. He was tucked away in Shanghai, blogging about how democracy, equality, and liberalism were slowing down capital. He kind of sort of started to align himself with the right. Now, fast forward to today. We have groypers. What are groypers? These are men who have become so far right that they only date men and trans women. This is a right-wing group of men who have created an entire reality on the internet devoted to ultra-right-wing fascism that doesn't even look like fascism anymore. This is a group that has become so satirical that on the outside we can barely understand how they are communicating, what they're saying, because so much of what they do is memeified, reactionary, a symbol of something else, until the original symbol is no longer there anymore. We have an anti-LGBTQ group that prides itself in dating queer people. Do we see how the symbol, the meanings and founding principles of these groups are collapsing as the groups get even stronger, as they unify even more, so much so that they've made real contact with the outside world, with politics, with the president, all based upon a manifesto, a worldview that doesn't even make sense? Do we understand? Like, I know this might feel a little bit all over the place, but I think this shows that we have a meaning problem in the United States and globally. And capitalism is at the root. It genuinely is. And Land showed us.
Yo, does she have a point there? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and the meaning to certain things don't really mean those things. And like she said, is it all for capitalism? Who can get the most dollar? I don't know. Rapers? I never heard that before. Made it to Argentina. 2.1 trillion went missing on 9/10/01 in the Pentagon, where they said a plane hit, but no plane hit. Larry Silverstein walked away with $4.5 billion after 9/11, when Building 7 miraculously collapsed. J.P. Morgan filed the largest insurance claim at the time. It was the Olympic that crashed, not the Titanic. Most people believed Princess Diana was killed by the royal family who opposed her husband. I'm just saying. In the Tuskegee Project, the CIA withheld treatment for 400 plus black men for to study them. That's crazy. Yo, I gotta say that on here. Y'all can read that. I'm not gonna say that out loud. There are many villages in Argentina filled with German culture since World War II. What y'all think happened? I'm just saying. The guy who killed MLK Jr. claimed he was supposed to be paid for it. I mean, duh. George Zinn said he took the blame for Charlie because he was supposed to be paid. All right, so I don't know who George Zinn is. Wait, oh, for real? This is Michael Jackson's hologram performance in 2014. Hologram comparison. There was a trap door below. Michelle voted as a man up until 20. Whoa, what? Where'd they get this? Okay, that's crazy. Trump shooter was in the BlackRock commercial. True. After we did 911, the Patriot gave them permission to check our phones. And now look at it, we ain't got no privacy.
Hundreds of gallons of milk are being recalled in Illinois and Wisconsin.
Dang.
So pause before you pour this morning. Prairie Farms is recalling its gallon-sized fat-free milk because it could be contaminated with a cleaning agent. The affected cartons were sold at Woodman's Market with a date of December 8th. If you have one, throw it out or return it for a refund. We have full details on our website, NBCChicago.com.
That's messed up, yo. You know, you thinking you got some cereal, got some milk, you know, for your kids in the morning. And they got some cleaning agent that they drinking with their Cheerios. It's messed up.
The difference, this is a store-bought egg. These are fresh eggs, baby.
Big difference in the color.
Big difference.
Big difference in the color, but they both nasty. Yo, y'all eat y'all eggs like that, runny? Like just barely cook them, just crack them open and it's all runny on the inside. I don't know. I can't do it. Never been me, you know. I see people do it all the time. I just need mine scrambled.
I played these games before, okay? That's how I knew when I heard the announcement that Netflix is purchasing the company that owns The Matrix. I said, that's ominous. That's going to be expensive for us at the end of the day. That means by the 2030, Netflix, $50 a month. I'm going to go ahead and call that. I'm putting that one out there on the board, okay? Because Netflix just announced that they are purchasing Warner Brothers for $83 billion. That's why they got rid of password sharing, okay? That's why you can't share a password with your moms no more. Because Netflix needed money to buy Batman, Superman, Harry Potter, the Justice League. They needed money to buy Game of Thrones, Looney Tunes, Chernobyl. They needed money to buy HBO Max. They needed money to become a bigger monopoly, baby, because they don't wear the monocle no more. They don't wear a top hat. They wear a Patagonia vest and say, this is a good option for consumer choice. But in reality, at the very bottom line there, they say this will be a good return on value to our shareholders, because that's who matters at the end of the day, the shareholders, not you and me, not end-day consumer. Sure, when we open up the Netflix menu, it might have a couple more options on there, but it's actually, at the end of the day, going to be one less menu for us to open. It's going to be one less competitor for Netflix to have. So now, instead of us going, I don't like what's on Netflix this month, let me cancel that one and go over to this one. No. You just got to stay on Netflix, baby. And Netflix is just going to get more and more expensive because I lived through this before with cable. When cable first rolled out, it was ad-free, it was cheap, it was easy. You had a cable coming into your house, you were paying for that cable, so why would there be an ad? Then slowly they added ads. Then slowly they kept buying up their competitors. Then before I fucking knew it, it was $110 a month for cable, baby. 110. And then Netflix showed up and said, hey, for $8.99, you can get whatever you want over here on our channel, and then you can share it with your mom and your girlfriend, and you can just have Netflix and chill, but it not chill no more. No. No. It's not chill at all. They own The Matrix. If you want to break out of The Matrix and see me live in Philadelphia, I'll be at Helium Comedy Club right before Christmas here in December. Tickets in the bio.
A juicy, sizzling steak made by computer. While obtaining regular meat is a process that's been taking place for millennia, cow, butcher, beef, Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat is formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Meat substitutes are not new, but unlike the soy-based crumbles that mimic ground beef, Redefined Meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
But the most important part, how does it taste? This diner was happy.
The texture feels right. Even the smell smells like the real thing. Really authentic for meat.
I don't know about y'all, but when I go to a restaurant or anywhere, I don't want to ever say that it tastes really authentic. No, I don't want to say that. I just want the authentic thing, right? Just give me the real thing. I don't want the fake 3D printed anything, but it seems like that's the world we're coming to, where like everything's going to be like made in a lab. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if y'all are ready for that. I don't know if we're ready for that, but it's like, once they implement it, what are we going to do to stop it? If all the grocery stores right now just cleared their shelves and put 3D printed meat on there, then what? We ain't got no choice, do we? So we got to figure something out about that, man. But yeah, these are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on. And until next time, YouTube, peace.